This is about defending democracy. This is no longer Democrats versus Republicans. What do you want your kids to believe in? There must be give and take.
This is White Flag with Joe Walsh.
I've been trying to make this point with every TV appearance of late. I've been trying to make this point every time I go on the radio or anytime I go on anybody's podcast. I've been trying to make this point to everybody I talk to at a local coffee shop. I'm exaggerating there. The country needs to know, as we're 13, 14 months out from the 2024 election, this country needs to wrap their arms around something here. A truth. Maybe an uncomfortable truth. It certainly is a scary truth, but the truth nonetheless. MAGA is the Republican Party. Like, it's no wing of the Republican Party, MAGA. It's no fringe element of the Republican Party, MAGA. It's the party right now. For better or for worse, and it's for worse, one of America's two major political parties now is a MAGA party. It's taken over the Republican Party. It is the Republican Party. And the country better wake up to that really damn fast. I was on a bunch over the weekend, and right now the House Republicans want to shut down the government. They can't figure out what they support, and they wanted to launch this impeachment inquiry, which is a bunch of bullshit and nothing, an impeachment about nothing. And as people talk about the House, as people in the media talk about the House Republican caucus, they talk about a handful of crazy extremists, like Lauren Boebert. How about Lauren Boebert, by the way? In a crowded public place, her and her date are playing with each other's privates. How about that? Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, the host of the show I was on over the weekend, said, Joe, these handful of MAGA crazies are holding the entire House for ransom. And I said, stop. It's not just a handful of crazies in the House. It's not just Marjorie and Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz and Andy Biggs and Paul Gosar. It's not just a handful of MAGA extremists in the House. The vast majority of the House Republican caucus is MAGA. They're not as loud and is in your grill and in front of the camera every day like Marjorie Gaetz and Lauren Boebert are. But they're there. Do you ever wonder why when Gaetz, Gosar, Boebert, Biggs, when any of them, Perry in Pennsylvania, when any of them say anything stupid, when any of them say anything cruel, when any of them say anything racist, whenever any of these MAGA crazies say anything anti-Semitic, whenever any of them say anything anti-American, pro-Putin, when any of them, like Trump, say anything traitorous, did you ever notice that nobody in the entire conference says a damn thing about him? Like Matt Gaetz can say something pro-Putin and no Republican in the House will say anything. Now, there are some Republicans in the House who are repulsed by what Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Scott Perry say, but no, most of them are quite comfortable with all the anti-Semitic, racist, pro-Putin, MAGA, intolerant, cruel shit they put out every day because they're on the same side. They're just not going to come out and say it all the time. But they support Trump. They're beholden to Trump. The vast majority of House Republicans are Trumpers. That's MAGA, right? MAGA is this intolerant, build a wall around America, pro-authoritarian, truth-denying cult. That's what MAGA is. That's most of my former colleagues in the House. That is the Republican Party right now. The minority of the Republican Party are the moderates. People like me, Tea Party conservatives who are not MAGA, we've already left. Mitt Romney isn't running again. Why? Because he probably couldn't beat a MAGA in the primary, but he's in the small, teeny minority among all Republicans in Washington. The Republican Party is MAGA. That's the truth. There are not just a handful of Marjorie Taylor Greene's crazies in the House. Most of that Republican conference in the House is MAGA. So crazy, so intolerant, so authoritarian, so cruel. They just don't act it. Marjorie's got the courage of her convictions to get out there and put it out there every single day. Wrap your arms around this truth, America, because here's the deal. Why accept this truth as scary and dangerous as it is that one of our two major political parties now is owned, run, and operated by MAGA? Because we need to defeat it. We want to defeat it, and we cannot defeat MAGA. And let's be clear, we want to defeat MAGA because MAGA is un-American. MAGA is anti-American. If you are an authoritarian embracing cult, if you are anti-democracy, you are un-American. You are anti-American. We can't defeat it if we don't know who and what it is. And if we just think, man, I'll tell you what, if we just think just a handful of crazies, easy to beat, we're going to get stampeded. Respect the enemy. MAGA is the Republican Party. Know that, embrace that truth, and then gird up to defeat MAGA. The only way MAGA goes away, the only way MAGA loses is if we defeat them. And we're not going to defeat them if we don't understand how big and prevalent they are. Hey, I'm Joe Walsh. Thanks for listening. This is White Flag with Joe Walsh. Every day you're going to get a 6 to 7 minute hit from me like this. Share this. Spread this wide as best as you can. Have a great week. Be brave out there. Thanks.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow White Flag with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been White Flag with Joe Walsh.